Nice to meet you. I am Sakura. In this channel, I will introduce trivia about Japanese manga today. In this issue, we will introduce trivia about Gege Akutami, the author of Jutsu Kaisen. The manga, Jutsu Kaisen, began serialization in the 2018 14th issue of Weekly Shonen Jump, which was released on March 5, 2018. The manga is a dark fantasy that depicts a battle between curses born from negative human emotions and a sorcerer who exorcises curses through sorcery. In October 2020, it was adapted into an animated film, which became explosively popular in Japan and around the world, and in 2024 it will be listed in Guinness World Records 2025 as the most in-demand animated TV show in the world. When a work becomes popular, the female characters who appear in it often attract attention. In Jutsu Kaisen, female characters such as Kasumi Miwa and Nobara Kugisaki are also well known for their cuteness. However, while attractive female characters are depicted, Japanese readers have often commented that the female characters depicted by the author, Gege Akutami, have stocky lower bodies and thick legs. Indeed, compared to other manga and anime, there are many scenes in which the female characters in Jutsu Kaisen seem to have thicker legs. However, even more so than in the same work, the thicker legs of the female characters are more prominent in Akutami's previous works. Before Jutsu Kaisen was serialized, Akutami had published a work titled Nikai Bongai Bara Baru Jura, a read-only work, in the 44th issue of Weekly Shonen Jump, released in 2016. The work was nominated for the Kinmurai Cup, a newcomer award project held in Weekly Shonen Jump. The heroine of this work is a boy in a school uniform, much like Yuji Itadori, the hero of Jutsu Kaisen. However, it is the heroine's legs that are noteworthy. The heroine's legs, which are depicted alongside those of the hero in the colored door picture, are so strong and sturdy at first glance that they are comparable to those of the hero. Readers also commented on the heroine, saying, "The heroine's legs are ridiculously thick, and aren't her legs too thick indeed? The heroine's legs are too fat." At first, many readers pointed out that the lower half of her body is strange, and the heroine's legs are too thick and uncomfortable, but it seems that Akutami himself intended to draw the heroine's legs at a normal thickness. The same work has gained a reputation for its well-designed battle scenes. Many readers of Jutsu Kaisen have also praised the battle scenes in Jutsu Kaisen, and those who have read Nikai Bongai Bara Baru Jura again have also commented that they are very good at it. However, it seems that many readers are still concerned about the heroine's body shape, and when the topic of Nikai Bongai Bara Baru Jura is discussed, the thickness of the heroine's legs is often brought up. The Weekly Shonen Jump, in which Nikai Bongai Bara Baru Jura was published, also carried Akutami's comments and illustrations. In the illustration, Akutami and the editor in charge of the story discuss the issue. The girl's legs are thick. Not fat. Fat. They're not fat. The illustration depicted Akutami arguing with the editor in charge. In addition to this exchange, the illustration also includes the words, "I drew this while fighting over differences in sexuality." This Akutami and the editor in charge, fat. You're not fat. This exchange between Akutami and his editor became popular among Japanese manga readers, along with the popularity of Jutsu Kaisen. The impact on readers was so great that the lightheartedness of the exchange became a popular internet meme, and although the original story was about the thickness of legs, it has come to be used on the internet to refer to anything thick, including the body. The impact on readers was so great that the lightheartedness of the exchange. A few years after the Akutami incident, the "fat, you're not fat" seemed to have spread to other cartoonists as well. In 2022, Uma Musume Inari-wan will make her first public appearance in the third chapter of Issei Senkyo Hen, a spin-off of Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, the content that anthropomorphizes racehorses. Uma Musume Pretty Derby. However, his figure was clearly portrayed as thicker and tougher than his appearance in the app game. The editor in charge of the drawing noticed that the characters had become thicker when the manuscript was submitted and asked Taiyo Kazumi, who was in charge of the drawing, "Isn't Inari thicker?" Kazumi replied, "Not really." However, Kazumi tweeted on Twitter at the time after the draft was submitted, "Looking at it again now, it sure is thick," but a few minutes later he quickly posted, "It ain't thick." He posted on Twitter, "The series of events became a topic of conversation on the internet, with people saying, 'A second Gege Akutami has appeared.' In addition, Akutami usually does not show his face, and when he draws about himself, he draws a cat with one eye, which is nicknamed Monocular Cat by readers." However, in Akutami's read-aloud work number 9, which appeared in issue 46 of Weekly Shonen Jump in 2015, the self-portrait on Akutami's introduction page depicts a woman in a monocular cat costume. And although the lower half of her body is not depicted, it gives the impression of a somewhat chubby, woman. For a while there were rumors on the Japanese internet that Akutami might be a woman. However, in the Jujutsu Kaisen official fanbook, Akutami reveals that he went to an all-boys school when he was in junior high and high school. Furthermore, when Akutami appeared on the TV program Mondo Kobayashi, his face was hidden, but his voice was male, so there is no doubt that Akutami is a man. The female characters in Jujutsu Kaisen do not have as thick legs as those in Nikai Bongai Bara Barujura. The reason why Akutami started drawing the legs of the female characters, which were originally drawn thinner, seems to be because of his brother's wedding. According to what Akutami's editor in charge told in an interview with Shonen Jump Plus, Akutami drew a welcome board to be displayed at his brother's wedding. However, when his brother and sister-in-law saw the drawing, they were shocked. "My legs are so thick." Akutami's family members also bashed him, and when he looked at his brother and sister-in-law's legs again, he noticed, "Oh, they are not that indeed." This story is also detailed by Akutami in the extra pages of Volume 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. When Akutami was entrusted with the task of creating a welcome board for his brother's wedding, his mother sent him a photo of the two of them as a reference. Akutami seems to have drawn a picture of his brother playing soccer with his wife because he was a good soccer player. The day before the wedding, Akutami met his brother and sister-in-law for the first time at his parents' house in Sendai. He was bewildered to see his brother and sister-in-law, who were much thinner than the picture he had drawn of himself based on a photograph. However, he could not rewrite the picture because he did not have any drawing materials at his parents' house, and he felt very sorry on the day of the wedding. It is said that after this incident, Akutami began to keep in mind that women can be more slender than they think when painting. Akutami was inspired to draw the wedding episode in the book because he was often asked in fan letters, "Why did you stop drawing the girls' legs thicker?" It is often expressed on the internet that Akutami's curse was lifted after the wedding incident. Akutami once talked about his character design on the Shonen Jump manga award portal site, where Akutami was asked, "When you create a new character, where do you usually start?" Akutami answered the question, "When you create a new character, where do you usually start?" When creating characters, Akutami said there are various patterns, such as when to create them from the way they look and think, and when to create them from a showcase or an ending. For example, the popular character Kento Nanami in Jujutsu Kaisen seems to have been created with the keyword desalarization based on his appearance that reminds one of a stiff businessman, wearing glasses, a suit, and a tie. By being conscious of their appearance, the characters are made to have stronger personalities and leave a deeper impression on the reader. Akutami also said that since he draws the characters himself, "I can't help but get a bit Akutami-esque in his character designs, so I try not to project myself onto the characters." He said, "I try not to project myself onto the characters. I consider a character to be successful when it is removed from myself in a good sense." On the other hand, some people on the internet say that Akutami's tastes are leaked into his works and various considerations are being made. It is said that the female characters in Jujutsu Kaisen are generally strong and tough. Furthermore, there was a scene in which Aoi Todo, a character in the work, says to a person she is meeting for the first time, "A woman with a big height and buttocks is my type." Many people on the internet asked, isn't this also the author's proclivity? Many people on the internet have said, isn't this also the author's sexual habit? Akutami likes strong and tough women. He definitely has a special sexual habit, and so on. In many Japanese shonen manga, female characters as heroines are often protected by the protagonist. However, the female characters in Jujutsu Kaisen are often portrayed as strong-willed and manly. When Akutami had a conversation with Taito Kubo, the author of the manga Bleach that influenced Akutami, for the Jujutsu Kaisen official fanbook, Kubo said, "I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there are no female characters in Jujutsu Kaisen that I like. Isn't the overall personality of the characters too harsh?" Kubo pointed out that he did not like any of the female characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Kubo continued, when characters of the opposite sex are biased, it often reflects the author's preferences, and I wondered if it was Akutami-sensei's preference. In response to Kubo's comment, Akutami replied, "I'm not very good at drawing women, and I've put the brakes on creating what I call graceful characters." Many people on the internet agree with Kubo's opinion. After all, the thick legs of the female characters drawn by Akutami were probably influenced by Akutami's preference for women. Thanks for seeing me through to the end today. Was it fun? Please subscribe to our channel and click the good button. See you soon.